I feel like this video is kind of long overdue, but now I think I have accumulated enough of this brand to finally rank the eyeshadow palettes that I want from them. And I don't know why I say this so mysteriously, you already saw it in the title. Or especially I, am going to rank all of my Viseart palettes. I have 9 Viseart palettes ranging from a big one to 2 quads, and I bought them all myself besides the 2 quads. These were items that I got sent in PR by Viseart. And just because I do get PR from Viseart now does not mean that my opinion kind of changes, because I actually get PR from them because I raved so much about them, because I really enjoy the formula. And I have to say, with this ranking, take it maybe with a grain of salt, because let's just explain a bit around Viseart here and do some Viseart education now. Viseart is not a brand, by the way, how many times can I say Viseart in like 5 minutes? I don't know. It's not a brand that is known. I have cat hair on my face because Edgar was just here and now my face feels like it's covered in hair. Where was I? Viseart is not a brand that you should use when you want to have this. Or you want to have Cleo Nut multichromes. Or you want to have the same punchy mattes as in, for example, a Beauty Bay 42 pan Kirie 2.0 palette. Or when you're expecting a rainbow look like Be Perfect Carnival palettes. Or insert any indie brand that you want here. If this is what you like, if this is your preferred style of makeup, Viseart is not the right brand for you. This is a brand for professional use. That means this makeup is made to be looking good on camera and photo shoots, and of course in real life. But that does also mean that a lot of these shades you might have to manipulate a bit to get the desired intensity that you want to have. This is something I definitely do not crave daily. There are days where I want to have this. This is part of a red eye look series that you will see, I think this week. Maybe even tomorrow. I have to look up in my upload calendar when this is going to be, but I think this week you will see the 3 looks that are kind of surrounding red eyeshadow. But of course there are other days where I don't want to have this. There are days where I might want to have a look like this, or like this, or like this, and this is loud, la 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 loud. I appreciate Viseart so much for their professional take on makeup that I even do not care if the color story is not 100% my jam, because this is a brand that is always a safe play when it comes to quality. And when I use palettes that have only shimmers, for example, I'm using a Bobbi Brown, the Lunar Quad, or when I use some of my Cleo Nut multichromes, I just need for certain looks eyeshadows that play the safe game. I do have the same feeling for Lisa Aldrich makeup, for Lisa Aldrich eyeshadow palettes. Vega is my safe play eyeshadow palette. But Viseart in quality is always a safe play, and it does not matter what you do with Viseart eyeshadows. I guarantee you, with 0 skills, with -20 in skills, you will be able to get a good look out of them. Therefore, when it comes here to my Viseart ranking, this is just color story. This is not quality. The quality, and it does not matter if we're talking about their shimmers, their take on duochromes, and yes, they do have duochromes, but they're not like you might expect them. This is all 10 out of 10. It's just the color story that makes these palettes very different from each other for me. So let's start with my least favorite out of the collection. The Praline Épicé or Épicé, I don't know, it's French, I'm very bad at French. This is a new quad they released as their winter release in 2023? Or was it already in January? No, I think it was the end of December last year. This is a very neutral quad. I did a look with this. It's a stunning look. I really enjoy it. But this is just not my favorite color story. I still keep this because I'm honest with you, this mid-tone brown here is the most boring brown that I own. It's the perfect boring brown, if that makes any kind of sense. These three shimmers are very, very beautiful. They go well together. With the look I did, I used all 4 shades in here. This is such a beautiful color highlight or all over the lid shade. This is a beautiful darker shimmer, and this is very warm and fiery. To be honest, this does not speak so much as a winter palette to me or winter quad. This is a cozy fall quad. I will probably pull this out again when it's fall. I know this sounds like very far planned in advance, but when I think of this palette, I'm not thinking about winter. I mean, you can because of the warmth and fireplace and so on. I'm more so thinking of cozy fall. Number 8 is also one of the newer releases. This is the Cashmir Charmeuse. I hope I say that right. This is a new version of their very beloved Cashmir palette that I do have too, but ranked much higher. And I don't know if you can tell here, but these 2 shades are duochromes, but they're very soft duochromes. When we're talking about duochromes and Viseart, we're talking not Cleonut level, we're talking not Gloss Gods or Rodin's Eye level or any other indie brand. We are talking soft, subtle shifts. I really like this, but overall for me this palette is just a bit too similar in their depth levels here with these mattes. I wish there was a bit more variety in that. The color story itself, it works. Because they're all in the same depth level, all the mattes do not really look different on your eye. Next up we have the Petite Shimmers Koi. And this is a 12 pan palette only with metallic shades. And again, it's not like Sparkle Heaven. These are very opaque, good looking, intense looking color payoff given metallics. These are true metallics. Something I feel like in a lot of palettes these days is just missing, because it's always either mixed with a lot of glitter and sparkle, or it has to be some kind of duo or multi-chrome. These are your basic bitch shimmers, and I really appreciate that. I like this composition. This is a very beautiful companion palette. If you pair this with one of the all matte palettes that Viseart has in their repertoire, you're good to go. And if you're maybe somebody who's not a makeup collector like I am, maybe this plus one of the mattes palette could be your palettes for life. At number 6, we have also a newer palette. This is the Violet Vesper Teen. And this is a new version of the original, very beloved Violet palette that I unfortunately do not own. So I cannot compare these. I can just compare this with all the other palettes. I think this is a beautiful smoky palette. I really enjoy this. This reminds me a lot of Lisa Eldridge Myth, but a bit more desaturated. And it's also a grown up, or no, that's wrong, more sophisticated, safe version of the Cosmic Brushes Gothic palette. Absolutely stunning. I love purples. Amazing. And what I like the most actually about this palette, and yes, this comes from me, is the fact that you have more mattes and shimmers, because you're able to go really deep with this or this brown, and you can amp the looks up with the shimmers. The star of this palette, in my opinion, are the mattes, not the shimmers. This little orange guy was a fucking pain to get in my hands, because when this released, I was like, I need this, like, now? But it wasn't available in Germany, but then all of a sudden it was available in Beautylish, and I just immediately bought it. This is the Koi-ish Itin D. So this is Koi, this has shimmers, and this is Koi-ish. And Koi-ish, first of all, is a different format. I'm going to say something about the formats at the end of the video. These are duochromes. And again, I said it already, these are soft duochromes. They have a very subtle shift. I have to say though that even in this palette, I would not say that every single shade is a duochrome, even though they do market it as that. Because when I look at the red here, which is called Constancy, This is not a duochrome. This is just a very warm red with a little bit of a golden flecks going on. While underneath this is called Transformation, this is definitely a duochrome that ranges from purple to kind of brown. Maybe our understandings of what a duochrome is just different because we just know so many other chromes from multi-brands, from indie brands. But I love the take on this. I love how this is a more amped up koi on crack version of original koi, and I feel like in 2024 Viseart just revamped a lot of their palettes for the better. That's why this is ranked higher as original koi. At number 4 is a big palette, and the only big that I own, and unfortunately this is not available anymore. I think this is the Grande Pro 1X, and this was a pretty penny. I think I paid $140 for this on Sephora. But this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 8, 7, 35 different matte eyeshadow palettes. This is probably everything you need. I love this. This is one of the best companion palettes that I own. And I have to admit, when I look at how used these shades look, I use mostly this region in this palette, but everything else is just divine. I love this. I think this is one of, I said it already, this is probably one of the best companion matte palettes that you were able to get for money. But I have to say though that on my second place there is another matte companion palette, not in this format but in the petite format, that I like just better than this for a very specific reason. Number 3 is actually the second quad that Viseart brought out for winter, and this is the Tyrion Quad. I don't think I have to explain further why this is the case, that I love this better than the Praline Épicé, whatever. And the look I created, you actually saw in the intro, I showed you it. It is such a beautiful palette. I love this composition of this super dark Tyrion color mixed with this pink leaning bone shade, and these two. This is a shimmer, what's it called? This is Byzantine. This has a transparent base. I am a sucker for shimmers with transparent bases. I love this quad, and I'm not a quad girl, but this, I wanna, look how small this is. I can put this in my bra and go. At number 2, we do have the companion palette that I like now even better than Grande Pro 1X, and this is probably a lot because of my changed color preference. This is the Petite Mattes Cool. They do have a warm version too, but look at this. This is a heaven of cool toned eyeshadows, and this is just the type of cool toned eyeshadows that I'm actually missing in the Grande Pro 1X. I wish that instead of so many of the warm browns in these colors, they were replaced by more cool toned mattes. Then it would be the best palette ever, but this little 12 pan guy is a savior. This saved so many of my looks, like this and the Lisa Eldridge Vega. When I fuck up with mattes, these are the two guys that come in and save the day. But my favorite Viseart palette, and this has not changed even though I tried the new quads, I do have these companion palettes that I just love. But original Cashmir, oh boy, when I show you this inside, you have to promise me not to faint. Do you believe that this girl who's wearing this loves this? I can't believe it too. This is such an amazing palette, and this shade down here, it is called 20s. I want to lick it because that's exactly how it looks like you were licked across the face. Everything in here makes sense. I love the fact that even though this is cashmere and this is mauve toned neutral, this is not too mauve. You have a lot of variation with the browns and this very cool toned dark brown over here. The different shimmers, the different levels of depth. This is just the perfect palette for me from Viseart. So before I end the video, let's just talk a bit about the different sizes in Viseart because, as I said, it's more of a professional brand. And you do have the Pro palettes with a clear lid. I don't have any of these because they're very pricey. I think they're around 80 money or something like that. And I'm pretty sure that each pan in this big with a clear lid thing has 2 grams. This is definitely not for private person. This is for makeup artists on set that use just these dailies. And then these are very, very color coordinated. I think you have a warm palette, a brights palette, and a cool tone palette. Everything in the Viseart line that comes with the name Itin D, it looks like this. You know, like the Cashmir, the Coyish, Cashmir Charmeuse, Violet Vespertine. These are in the Itin D size. The Grande Pro 1X also is in the Itin D size, and the Tyrion, or like the Petite 4, is also the Itin D size. And with Itin D, in my opinion, it's not only meant the specific type of 12 pan palette, we're talking about the pan sizes. Because with Itin D palettes, each pan contains 1.5 gram of product, which means you can, when I hold them just like that, you can exchange them. Every single eyeshadow shade here does pop out. Let me just take one out of here like that. So you can remove the pan and can just exchange them as you want. The palettes that do have the name Petite in there, they contain only 1 gram of eyeshadow product in the pan. And as you can see, I will just hold it up to the Tyrion, I don't know, to this dark blue quad. They're much smaller in size and therefore you cannot exchange the quad except when you just change it within the Petite line. So if you ever questioned what the fuck does Petite, what does Itin D mean, that's basically it. So let me know down below, have you ever tried Viseart eyeshadows? If not, what is holding you back? And what is the palette that you really want to try from the brand? Thank you guys so much for being here. Check out the info box down below. Don't forget to subscribe, all the shebang and chase, you know what I mean. And I hope I can see you in the next one.